Welcome to the 2021 AIA New York State Excelsior and Professional Service Awards and the Associated General Contractors New York State Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Awards. Things are looking brighter, and we once again appreciate the opportunity to come together with AGC New York State to celebrate our collective award recipients. I'd like to start by thanking some of our sponsors for supporting this important event. They include Zetlin and DiChiara, Patrick DeSerbo of Northwestern Mutual, Insurance Office of America, and Couch White LLP. Thank you for your contributions towards making the awards program a success and for your support of our industry, our organization, and our members. We're excited to be here today to celebrate this year's award recipients whose publicly funded projects provide benefits to the communities they serve. At AIA New York State, our members are part of a vibrant community of architecture and industry professionals that are transforming the built environment. The Excelsior Awards program recognizes and honors design and professional excellence in publicly funded buildings throughout New York State. AIA New York State, in collaboration with the New York State contracting agencies, created these awards to provide a model of excellence for future state-funded building design and professional practice and advocacy. Our professional service awards include the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Award, the Henry Hobson Award, and the Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller Award are all named after individuals who have made significant contributions to advancing public architecture in America. Celebrating its 7th year, the Excelsior Awards are selected by an interdisciplinary jury that evaluates the projects based on a set of 3 criteria: firmness, demonstrating design based on sound architectural and engineering principles, and responsible use of public funds to achieve the maximum public benefit. Commodity, demonstrating design that is functional and impactful, providing socioeconomic benefits to the surrounding community and advancing the owner's mission. And delight, demonstrating design that achieves beauty and harmony through respect for the surrounding context, understanding and consideration of human scale, a satisfaction of user needs, both explicit and implicit. More than 90 different projects throughout New York State have been recognized over the past 7 years. Congratulations to all our award winners this year. Now I would like to turn it over to Mike Elmendorf, President and CEO of AGC New York State.
Thank you, Georgie. Good afternoon, and welcome to the AGC NYS Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Awards and the AIA New York State Excelsior Awards. We are grateful for our continued partnership with AIA, not only in jointly presenting these prestigious awards, but also working together on substantive issues throughout the year. Now, today's event would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. They include La Chase, Basilico Civil Inc., E.W. Howell Construction Group, and Turner Construction. Thank you all. When we took this program virtual last year, I know we all hoped that this year we would be back together again in person. But here we are back on your screens again. I think we are all seeing light at the end of this very long tunnel and can have some confidence that this event will be more like what we've been accustomed to next year. I certainly look forward to seeing you all in person soon. That said, this program, virtual as it is again, is still one of the highlights of our year and is certainly an exciting event for our honorees. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed and upended how we do so many things. We should take great pride in how our industry and members kept working throughout, keeping projects going, commerce and our economy moving, and supply chains open. Construction was essential because construction is essential. At AGC, our members represent the very best of our industry, embodying the highest standards of skill, integrity, and responsibility. Among those ranks, the Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winners stand as truly the best of the best. Since 1990, the Build New York Award has recognized the most remarkable and often most challenging construction projects in the Empire State. Winning projects have included buildings and bridges, large and small, new and renovations, public and private. Some are stunning to behold, others are highly functional, but each of them presented challenges that were met successfully by the winning company and project team. The awards emphasize the entire construction team, not only the general contractor or construction manager, but many others: the owner, architect, engineer, subcontractors, suppliers, and craftspeople, all of whom contribute to the success of a project. Each winner is presented with a trophy made of Lake Placid blue granite, set on a black pedestal representing substance, quality, and dependability. In late 2010, the AGC NYS Board of Directors unanimously renamed the awards the Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Awards, after the late GBC Executive Director and AGC NYS CEO. Jeff was a highly respected leader in our industry and a friend. His association with this award adds greatly to its stature. Celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, the Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Awards are selected by a jury of industry peers. More than 135 different projects throughout New York State have been honored over the years. The Granite Award is displayed prominently in dozens of contractor and client offices throughout the whole of New York State. I want to thank the Build New York jury, made up of construction industry owners, designers, and contractors, for their care in selecting this year's winners. Congratulations to all of our award recipients this year. You do our industry and AGC proud. And now we will hear from the 2021 AIA New York State President, Ilya Azaroff.
Thank you, Mike. Welcome, and thank you all for participating in the Excelsior Awards program and for joining us virtually for this important celebration. Before we recognize the award recipients, I would first like to thank the jury members who represent a variety of disciplines and took time out to review, evaluate, and discuss each project submission. They are Karen Nichols, FAIA, who served as the jury chair, is principal at Michael J. Graves Architecture and Design in Princeton, New Jersey. Tae-Wook Cha, RLA, ASLA, is founding principal of Supermass Studio, a landscape architecture practice based in New York City. Gerald Wise, MBA, CCIM, is president of Railroad Place Partners, LP, and an associate broker at Ruin Realty Commercial Services, both based in Saratoga Springs, New York. And Jared M. Green, PE, principal and vice president at Langen in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After reviewing 28 submissions, 10 projects were selected for awards in categories including historic preservation, new construction, and public art. They include the conversion of a landmark building in Midtown Manhattan into a new transit hub, new affordable housing in the Bronx that promotes social interaction, recreation, and learning, a pavilion that complements a landmark 17th century conference house on Staten Island, a Veterans Resource Center that supports veterans and military families and serves as a new gateway to the Syracuse University campus, a new training facility that houses an advanced manufacturing program with 100% job placement at Hudson Valley Community College in Troy, New York, a global cybersecurity institute at Rochester Institute of Technology, a leader in cybersecurity education and research, a much-needed new school as part of a public-private partnership mixed-use development project in Manhattan's Upper West Side, a new subway line that runs the length of Manhattan along 2nd Avenue that relieves congestion at the overcrowded Lexington Avenue line, an energy and nature center that provides a laboratory for learning at Jones Beach on Long Island, and a functional art installation that assists an enthusiastic community of local fishermen that fish along a popular stretch of the East River in Upper Manhattan. These 10 remarkable and diverse publicly funded projects deserve the highest recognition for providing our community with thoughtful, effective, and responsible projects. I commend the creative teams behind these impactful works. We thank everyone for joining this virtual celebration, especially to all of the AGC and AIA members, guests and friends, past winners, and this year's entrants, and of course the winners and their respective teams. And now Joseph Basilico, Chairman, Board of Directors for AGC, New York State, and the President and CEO of Basilico, would like to say a few words.
As Chairman of the Associated General Contractors of New York State, it's my pleasure to be part of the AGC of New York State Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Awards program. We thank everyone for joining this virtual celebration, especially all the AGC and AIA members, guests and friends, past winners, this year's entrants, and of course, the winners and their teams. This year's entrants stand out for their uniqueness, innovation, and speed of completion. The winning construction teams overcame multiple challenges and most built in difficult environments. All the winners stood out for their excellence in project management. Let's start by introducing this year's Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York winners.
Welcome to the 2021 AIA New York State Excelsior and Professional Service Awards and the AGC New York State Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York and Distinguished Service Awards. This video is sponsored by Zetlin and D. Chiara. Zetlin and D. Chiara, one of the country's leading construction law firms, represents design professionals, owners and developers, and construction managers. Recognized for its deep understanding of all elements of the built environment, Zetlin and D. Chiara negotiates and crafts design and construction contracts and resolves disputes in court and in alternative dispute resolution forums. The firm also advises design professionals on corporate matters such as organization, succession planning, as well as professional licensing. Zetlin and D. Chiara is proud to have been associated with AIA New York State for 30 years and have enjoyed helping to resolve some of the most pressing issues facing architects in the state. Your design work has always inspired us. We are fortunate and grateful to have been able to assist such wonderful professionals in their fundamentally positive endeavors in creating and improving society through the built environment. Zetlin and D. Chiara looks forward to serving, protecting, and guiding architects well into the future. Congratulations to the award winners. Let's introduce this year's Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winners. Our first award winner is the Enid A. Haupt Conservatory Palm Dome Restoration at the New York Botanical Garden, New York, New York. Construction contractor, E.W. Howell. Owner, the New York Botanical Garden. Architect, Yanherd Pokorny Associates. Engineer, Silliman Engineers. The renovation of the historic Enid A. Haupt Conservatory Palm Dome is central to the New York Botanical Garden's mission to be a museum of living plant collections. The conservatory is one of the nation's preeminent examples of Victorian-era glass houses and the focal point of the garden's 250 acres. Built in 1902, the conservatory has undergone renovations and upgrades throughout its history. The 55,000 square foot conservatory, an acre under glass, was designated a New York City landmark in 1973 and has been listed on the National Register of Historic Places since 1967. The restoration, made possible by the support of the Lou Esther T. Mertz Charitable Trust and both the City and State of New York, focuses on the central dome atop the palms of the World Gallery. Scaffolding erected below the dome drum and an enclosed cylinder around the exterior of the drum enabled the work to take place efficiently, safeguard the laborers, and plant specimens and act as a weatherproof barrier for the tropical collection below. The dome structural restoration overcame many challenges. The compression ring, the main structural element, was partially accessible during design. Utilizing an aggressive schedule in order to protect the plant collection, the construction had to be sequenced concurrently. Repairs affected the global stability of the structure and required shoring, which then affected the scaffold footprint and the plantings. Solving these constraints required multidisciplinary coordination. Complex and innovative, the restoration makes the building more energy efficient while respecting its landmark status. The Enid A. Haupt Conservatory Palm Dome is a landmark that is visited by millions year-round as one of the city's top tourist attractions.
Thank you, AGC, for this wonderful award. It is the Conservatory Dome at the New York Botanical Garden. Just a brief description of what the project was. It was the restoration of the upper compression ring. That's the area where the windows are and the cornice above. What happened was this 100-year-old structure had some pretty severe steel rotting up there. So the project was to remove all the cladding, the windows, and the glass above and below that compression ring, and to structurally repair it. At the same time, it was decided for longevity to do the cladding in aluminum that replaces the 100-year-old cypress that used to be up there. The great feature about this is that it's maintenance-free, and they'll never need to have to go up there and maintain the wood and paint. The other interesting factor of this job was that we had to create a dance floor for all the work to happen up there. And this was an occupied building. When I say occupied, the plants below were living, and they had to stay healthy down below. So we had to keep the environment conducive for their health. That was very, very tricky. So we had Atlantic Safeway was our scaffolding contractor. They did a fantastic job building the scaffold. I also want to mention Rao Brothers, who did all the glass and the cornice work up there. And our structural contractor, Welding Works, who did all the structural repairs. We had Plan B Engineering that did all the special engineering. Jan Hurd was the architect. Silman Engineering was the engineer of record. And last but not least is Ursula Hoskins and Mark Donnelly from the New York Botanical Gardens were invaluable in the process and coordinating with the facility and our work. And again, I just want to thank the AGC for this wonderful award, and it was an honor for E.W. Howell to be part of this project. Thank you very much.
Our second Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winner is the Prospect Mountain Phase 2, Binghamton, New York. Construction contractor, L&T Construction, Lancaster Development, and Tully Construction. Owner, New York State Department of Transportation, Region 9. Project designers, New York State Department of Transportation, Bergman, McFarland Johnson, and Tom Phillips, PEEIC. Referred to as the Prospect Mountain Project, reconstruction of the intersection of Interstates 88 and 81 and State Route 17 in Binghamton, New York, included 9 center lane miles, 6 bridges, 7,260 tons of structural steel, 14,325 cubic yards of structural concrete, 23,940 cubic yards of concrete pavement, and 13,000 lineal feet of noise wall. The bridges include 2 new ramps over the Chenango River, the replacement of a viaduct with an earthen embankment, 2 bridges over Route 7, and 2 over the Norfolk Southern Rail Yard. The rail yard remained active and was going through an expansion as construction was underway. 14 precast concrete noise walls were built with over 1,400 panels and posts to protect surrounding neighborhoods. Phase 1 included excavation for new traffic lanes. Portions of the cut slope had to be stabilized using a temporary soil nail wall. Phase 2 included a permanent soil nail wall, covered with architectural shotcrete carved and stained to resemble local rock formations from Prospect Mountain. A 3-dimensional model was built from plans and electronic data received from the New York State DOT for grading and earthwork to reduce rework, save time, and fuel expense. The use of the model allowed engineers to check for any conflicts or issues in the project during pre-planning, rather than discovering them in the field as work progressed. Phase 2 was completed under budget and nearly a year ahead of schedule. L&T developed and submitted 2 value engineering change proposals, one for the redesign of a noise wall to incorporate an existing retaining wall. The second changed the traffic phasing, eliminating temporary work. The combination of these innovative approaches resulted in significant cost reductions and construction time, reducing the impact to both taxpayers and local stakeholders.
Yes, I would like to thank the selection committee and the AGC of New York for giving us the Jeffrey J. Zogg Award to L&T Construction.
Our third Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winner is the National Veterans Resource Center at Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. Construction Manager, LaChase Construction. Owner, Syracuse University. Project Architect, Shop Architects. Project Engineer, ME Engineering. Structural Engineer, Thornton Tomasetti. Syracuse University has long supported the country's military. In World War I, the school established a Students' Army Training Corps to teach skills helpful in the war effort. In 1944, the school's chancellor helped draft the GI Bill that enabled millions of veterans to further their education. The Daniel and Gail Daniello Building, home to the National Veterans Resource Center, furthers the university's commitment to veterans and military-connected families. A first-of-its-kind multi-use facility, NVRC is a center for research and programs aimed at enhancing the lives of veterans and serves as a community hub for student veterans and the entire campus. A striking addition to Syracuse University, the NVRC includes classrooms, meeting spaces, a 750-seat auditorium, gallery space, a cafe, a banquet area, offices for the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, Office of Veteran and Military Affairs, and the Reserve Officer Training Corps, flexible space for use by community-based groups, and outdoor parade grounds. The original design exceeded the $55 million budget. A planned fourth floor was eliminated, and the project team offered suggestions that saved almost $14 million. About $7 million in savings came from changing the glass curtain wall grid from steel to aluminum, and an additional $7 million was saved by utilizing shorter pieces of wood in place of the originally planned continuous curved glulam beams for the wood feature wall that surrounds the auditorium. This achieved a similar feel, reduced costs, and provided easier access to mechanical elements. Care was taken to use U.S. source materials and local resources. In addition, the facility was constructed according to universal design standards for accessibility. The project was built to LEED Gold standards, with special efforts to reduce waste and promote efficient operation.
Hello, I'm Bill Goodrich, CEO, Managing Partner of LaChase Construction, and on behalf of the entire project team and our client, Syracuse University, I'm honored to accept this award. The National Veterans Resource Center is unique in its design and its purpose, and it's humbling to know that in addition to hosting many campus and community gatherings, it will serve 40,000 veterans annually. Thanks to everyone who played a role in the vision, design, and construction of this remarkable facility, and thanks to AGC New York State for recognizing the project with the 2020 Jeffrey Zogg Build New York Award.
Our fourth Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winner is the Saratoga Racecourse 1863 Club, Saratoga Springs, New York. General Contractor, MLB Construction Services. Owner, New York State Racing Association. Project Architects, Satch Architects and Frost Herf Architects. Project Engineer, HM3 Engineering Consultants. With over 150 years of historical magnificence, the New York Racing Authority's Saratoga Racecourse is one of the oldest sporting venues in the country. The 1863 Club sits on the original site of the once popular At the Rail Tent Pavilion, one of the largest investments made since the clubhouse in 1928. The 1863 Club proved to be one of MLB's toughest projects to date, completing the proposed 2-year project in just 9 months. The 52,488 square foot, 3-story facility overlooks the track. The area below grade includes a kitchen, coolers and freezers, storage, and offices. The first floor banquet space, called the Rail, accommodates up to 500 guests and provides access to trackside seating. Legends Hall, the second floor club, accommodates 100 guests and provides a perfect view with floor-to-ceiling windows and walkout balconies. Also on the second floor, the Founders Room is an exclusive members-only club for box holders, and a pedestrian bridge connects the historic clubhouse and grandstand. The third floor offers 6 luxury suites designed for groups of 17 to 50, all including private balconies overlooking the racetrack, high-end finishes, and access to the common bar and lounge area. Other notable features include flat-screen TVs and tablets with internet access for online betting capabilities, and the Diversicore structural system and trackside curtain wall system to view the racetrack. A dedicated construction team consisting of union and New York State contractors, most of whom were based within 30 miles of Saratoga. MLB's relationship with NYRA, the design team, the unions, and their subcontractors helped drive and fortify their commitment to exceed expectations. With the workforce and craftsmen willing to work long hours, weekends and holidays, MLB had the winning ticket to make this project a success.
Hi, I'm Jim Dawsey, President of MLB Construction Services, and on behalf of the MLB team, we're honored to be sitting in the 2020 Jeffrey Zogg Build New York Award winner, the 1863 Club at the Saratoga Racetrack. Thank you to the AGC Board of Directors for recognizing MLB on this unique project. We also want to give special thanks to the MLB team that brought us to the finish line on this project. Jeff Leno, our project manager, Mike Washburn, our superintendent, and Marty Millington, our assistant superintendent, for their effort and their determination to make this project a success. I would also like to thank the many men and women from the local unions that also contributed to this project. On the MLB side, it's the Carpenters Local 291, Laborers Local 157, Masons Local 2, and the Ironworkers Local 12.
Thank you to Matt Herr from Frost Turf Architects here in Saratoga for being on site daily to answer questions and assist with the relentless design changes necessary to keep this project on schedule. Thank you also to Peter Goulet, Manager of Facility Operations here at NYRA, for all the help and cooperation along the way to achieve our goals.
We would like to thank some of our key subcontractors, including Schenectady Hardware, Euro Tile, Collette Mechanical, Real Welding, Mid-State Roofing, and Parker and Ham.
Special thanks to MLB staff, project engineers, and project administration.
Thanks, AGC.
Our 5th Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winner is the High Bridge Interchange Rehabilitation Design Build, Bronx, New York. Construction contractor, Pasilico Civil. Owner, New York State Department of Transportation. Project designer, STV Incorporated. Construction inspection firm, HDR. Connecting 2 of the busiest highways in the country, the Alexander Hamilton High Bridge Interchange in the Bronx carries more than 120,000 vehicles daily. Part of a New York State DOT design build contract, the team led a $138.8 million rehabilitation of 3 interchanges that included more than 20 ramps to add 75 years of service life. The original plan called for replacing each of the bridge decks over a series of full weekend closures. The team proposed an innovative solution to keep traffic flowing, eliminating the risks involved with the demolition, repair, and replacement within a narrow time frame of a weekend closure that could have financial penalties and cause traffic disruption. The team met an ambitious schedule using accelerated bridge construction techniques, placing prefabricated concrete decks into position. The design also employed several cost-effective measures to stay within budget, including the elimination of half the deck joints. There were numerous owner-initiated change orders. 3 impacted the schedule. The first allowed additional time for Con Edison to relocate an uncharted gas main that impeded the reconstruction of a pier, adding 11 weeks to the schedule. New York State DOT added additional painting that increased the overall schedule by 9 weeks. Using ultra-high-performance concrete, 50% of the roadway joints were eliminated, virtually eliminating future paint and structural steel deterioration under these joints. The owner also requested blasting and painting of the structural steel under the remaining operable joints to extend the overall life of the paint system and structural steel. The team successfully delivered the project through open communication and collaboration, allowing for expedited decision-making and issue resolution, opportunities for innovation, and tighter cost and schedule control. Using technology and face-to-face meetings, the team developed an effective partnership that quickly resolved emergent issues and coordinated approaches.
My name is John Sotnick, and I was the project manager for the Alexander Hamilton Interchange Rehabilitation Design Build contract. On behalf of the Basilico Civil and the Design Build team, I'd like to thank the AGC for the honor of being awarded the 2020 Jeffrey J. Zogg Award. It was a great honor to work with this Design Build team, and it's a great recognition from the AGC for this award. Thank you very much.
Our final Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winner is the Union College Integrated Science and Engineering Complex, Schenectady, New York. Construction contractor, Turner Construction Company. Owner, Union College. Project architect and engineer, EYP. Considered the most ambitious and largest project in Union College's history, the Integrated Science and Engineering Center was for a repeat client. The 142,000 square foot ISEC building houses state-of-the-art laboratories, classrooms, and collaborative learning spaces and faculty offices. The facility emphasizes collaborative workspaces and includes areas for science on display, where spaces can be viewed through large glass windows. The centerpiece, a 4-story light well, promotes visibility and connectedness among disciplines. New outdoor walkways, seating areas, and expanded green space improve foot traffic and enhance the campus grounds. The project was constructed in multiple phases to eliminate potential impacts to campus activities. The building features an acoustic wood paneling system from Switzerland at the top of the atrium. The panels had a long lead time and a high sensitivity to humidity, requiring them to be installed last. To meet the schedule, partial occupancy of the building was required while installation of the panels occurred. A spider lift that fits through a standard doorway, reaches 70 feet to the top of the atrium, is battery-operated, eliminating electrical cords, and holds 2 people, allowed for a safe installation without disruption to facility operations. One of the most unique aspects and challenges of the project was connecting new construction into 5 existing buildings that range from 10 to 100 years old. The integration included selective demolition of an existing building facade to tie new steel into the existing structure, removal of connector bridges, stair towers, and elevators, removal of roofs and supporting structures, and excavation adjacent to and underpinning of foundations. This work was performed while having limited to no as-built drawings for many of the existing buildings. The project demonstrated excellence in all aspects, putting the client's needs above their own and making significant contributions to the local community.
Good afternoon. We're here in front of the Integrated Science and Engineering Complex at Union College. Turner Construction's winning submission for the 2020 Jeffrey Zogg Build New York Award. On behalf of Turner Construction, Union College, EYP, and the Facilities Department at Union, I'd like to thank you all for this greatest appreciation and AGC for this honor, and I'd also like to congratulate all of the other winners.
Congratulations to all our Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award winners. Let's introduce this year's AIA New York State Excelsior Award recipients. Historic Preservation Honor Award, Moynihan Train Hall, New York, New York. Submitting firm, Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, and Empire State Development. General contractor, Skanska USA Civil. MEP and FP Engineering, IT and Telecom, Jaros, Baum and Bowles, Civil and Geotechnical Engineering, Langen Engineering and Environmental Services, Structural Engineering, Severud Associates, Skylight Structural Engineering, Schleich Bergerman Partner, Historic Building Restoration, Building Conservation Associates. A $1.6 billion project funded with $550 million from the state, $420 million from Amtrak, the MTA, the Port Authority, and a federal grant, and $630 million from developers. Moynihan Train Hall is a 255,000 square foot conversion of the landmark James A. Farley Post Office in Midtown Manhattan into a new transit hub. The modern design celebrates the historic building, reversing the dark, overcrowded experience commuters endured at the existing Penn Station. It brings light to the concourses for the first time in more than 50 years, increases concourse space, and establishes a precedent for redefining historic architecture. The main hall transforms a once insular workspace into a new front door for New York. A monumental skylight that traverses the entire space is arranged into 4 catenary vaults that rests on a set of 3 historic trusses. A signature clock below the central truss recalls the golden age of railroad travel. Drawing inspiration from the existing post office and Grand Central Terminal, the 5 grand entrances are adorned with Tennessee marble, and the mid-block passageway is adorned with ceiling murals by leading artists. Moynihan Hall offers access to tracks serving Long Island Railroad and Amtrak. Includes new ticketing, waiting, and concession areas, restrooms, and concourse space. Accessibility was critical, adding 11 escalators, 15 elevators, and 10 improved elevators to Penn Station. The adaptive reuse of the Farley Building included energy-efficient LED lighting, radiant flooring, and fully updated HVAC, plumbing and mechanical systems. The project is now seeking LEED Silver certification in the newly created LEED for Transit category. In restoring the grandeur of transportation in New York, it has become a symbol of hope, a civic icon, and a place that celebrates one of the world's greatest cities.
This is Colin Coop, design partner at SOM.
And I'm Laura Edelman, managing partner at SOM.
We'd like to thank AIA New York State and the awards jury for honoring Moynihan Train Hall with an Excelsior Award. This project represents the kind of work we dream about as architects. In the first few months since the train hall's opening, we have watched people from all over the region travel in just to see the building and to feel uplifted. The award recognizes this kind of impact and what it means to reimagine the way we can experience New York City.
We'd also like to congratulate Empire State Development, Vornado Realty Trust, Skanska, and the entire consulting team, along with the public-private partnership team for this achievement. The collaborative effort of everyone involved, with Governor Cuomo and the Empire State Development's leadership, was instrumental in making this project so successful, and we're very proud to share this honor with them. Thank you.
New construction citation. 985 Bruckner Boulevard Affordable Housing, Bronx, New York. Submitting firm, Think Architecture and Design. MEP Engineering, New York Engineers. Site, Civil Engineering, McLaren Engineering Group. Structural Engineering, Rodney D. Gibble Consulting Engineers. 985 Bruckner Boulevard was significantly financed with public funding as part of Mayor de Blasio's initiative to build affordable housing in New York City. Community Access, a New York City-based nonprofit, provides services and housing for people with developmental challenges. 985 Bruckner Boulevard, a new 215-unit building in the Hunts Point neighborhood of the Bronx, houses a combination of low-income families, formerly homeless individuals, and veterans, and people with mental illness supported by managed care. The building provides desperately needed, high-quality permanent housing that promotes social, recreational, and learning through multi-purpose rooms, a child center, a learning kitchen, a bike room, a large fitness center, and a garden. Community Access has a proven track record of successful integrated social programs that serve to decentralize poverty, homelessness, and mental illness, and to destigmatize these social conditions to the benefit of everyone living in the building and their neighbors. This neighborhood is accustomed to predatory developers and a high degree of social ills. By creating a well-designed and welcoming residence that provides facilities open for community use, Community Access believes that building community internally helps build a community externally. The building's programmatic relationship to Hunts Point and physical transparency connects it to the neighborhood, increasing safety and activity. The building integrates into a neighborhood of mixed heights and styles by using different materials, heights, planes, and colors. A luminous stack of double-height common rooms are at the heart of the building, creating a welcome break in long corridors and acting as a focal point for social interaction. One encounters these shared open spaces while exiting elevators, experiencing broad urban vistas and the constant vehicular movement of the Bruckner Expressway just beyond. At night, this stack of social spaces virtually glow, casting light onto the street below and projecting hope.
Greetings, everybody, and thank you very, very much, New York State chapter, the AIA, for the Excelsior Award this year for our Community Access project. We're really, really, really grateful to receive this award this year because it recognizes not only the design quality of the project, but also the social value of the project and what we as architects can bring to communities in need of good housing and great architecture. We feel that this work is critical more than ever and really core to the mission of what we do at Think Architecture. So thank you so much. Thank you to the client, Community Access, without whom this project would not be possible at all. This award would not be possible. Without Steve Coe's vision at Community Access, who believes in building community in every building that they build. Without the day-to-day leadership and perseverance of Chris Lacavera, Cal Hedigan, and the team at Community Access, no way would this project have come out the way it did. And our team, Dan Fabizak, Brian Dobrowski, Brendan O'Shea, and my incredible partner, Marty Capel, to support this design effort. So thank you again, AIA, for recognizing the potential of what we as architects can do in the world to create a better world and better community. Thank you.
New construction, Citation, Conference House Park Pavilion, Staten Island, New York. Submitting firm, Sage & Coombe Architects. Structural Engineering, Severud Associates. MEP FP Engineering, JFK&M Consulting Group. Landscape Architecture, MKW and Associates. Civil and Geotechnical Engineering, Langen. Cost Estimating, Toscano Clements Taylor. Contractor, WWC Contracting. 100% publicly funded and located at Wards Point, the South Pole of New York City. The 4,500 square foot Conference House Park Pavilion complements the 17th century Conference House, a national landmark, and provides a dramatic view of Raritan Bay, replacing a deteriorated neo-Victorian style pavilion. The existing pile structure was salvaged while elevating the deck 8 feet to achieve the new design flood elevation following Superstorm Sandy. Its simple function is mirrored in its effortless, elegant form, allowing an unobstructed view without overshadowing the historic setting. Composed of yellow cedar and polycarbonate gutters, the roof features an intentionally limited palette inspired by the historic house. The simplicity of the form is juxtaposed against a highly dynamic shape that reads differently as one moves through the space. The main structural beams ride above the undulating roof surface, creating a light, airy feeling when viewed from below. To maximize natural light, the pockets between the joists are roofed by a half-round formed translucent polycarbonate gutter that sheds water to the harbor or rain garden on the shore. The deck is composite plastic lumber in a herringbone pattern, evoking a grand room and the rippling water below. Lighting is distributed in an abstract constellation, a continuation of the stars in the night sky above. The pavilion provides an accessible space and connects to the park with a ramp inspired by the nautical forms of a gangplank. Designed and built under the constraints of a public approval process, Conference House Park Pavilion is a testament that great architecture can be created within the parameters of limited budgets, strict labor laws, and public process, and reinforces that civic architecture can and should be inspiring, beautiful, and open to everyone.
Hello, I'm Peter Coombe, partner at Sage & Coombe Architects.
I'm Kit Yan, Senior Associate at Sage & Coombe Architect.
We are thrilled to receive this award from the Excelsior jury. We would also like to acknowledge the New York State AIA for their significant and ongoing support of design excellence in the public realm. This project would not have been possible without the leadership of the New York City Parks Department, led by Deputy Commissioner Therese Braddock, Commissioners Benepi and Silver, and Mayor Bloomberg and de Blasio.
And our teammates, consulting engineers at Severin Associates, Langen, JK&M, and landscape architect MKW.
For all of us, parks are the critical elements of social infrastructure that make our cities livable and resilient.
Thank you.
New Construction, Award of Merit. National Veterans Resource Center at Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. Submitting firm, Shop Architects. Structural Engineering, Thornton Tomasetti. Civil Engineering, GHD Group. Mechanical and Plumbing Engineering, ME Engineering. Lead, ME Engineering. Acoustical Engineering, LSTN Consultants. Geotechnical Engineering, John P. Stopin Engineering. Landscape Architecture, Matthews Nielsen Landscape Architects. General Contractor, La Chase Construction Services. The National Veterans Resource Center's construction cost was an estimated $62.5 million, of which $14.5 million was funded by New York State through the Upstate Redevelopment Initiative. After World War II, Syracuse University opened its campus to returning veterans as a participant in the GI Bill, and a profusion of service centers for veterans and military families were established across campus. The goal of the NVRC was to bring these functions together, fostering a sense of community and to serve as a gateway to the university. The lower levels house public functions, including lobby and gathering spaces, a gallery dedicated to art by and for veterans, a cafe and auditorium. Accessibility was paramount, so all visitors share the same experience. Wood elements on the main levels provide a welcoming environment and express the grandeur of its role as a campus gate. Above the ground floor and mezzanine, in an airy glass box that reflects the clouds, the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, ROTC, and other centers are arranged around a green roof that serves as a private ceremonial center and parade ground. Once a long uphill walk outdoors, often in harsh winter conditions, students and visitors now have the option to enter the NVRC and use ramps up to the main lobby half a level higher. A series of vitrines share the story of Syracuse and its commitment to veterans. The auditorium can host ceremonial occasions for the military, large lectures and performances for students, and public programming for the community at large. The National Veterans Resource Center is a hub, housing services to veterans and their families, academic centers for the study of their needs, and spaces both for private gathering and for sharing their experiences with the community.
On behalf of SHOP, we want to thank the AIA for this wonderful award. In particular, we also like to thank the Vice Chancellor at Syracuse, Michael Haney, the CEO of the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, Maureen Casey, the Executive Director of Office of Veteran and Military Affairs, Ron Novak. Also, special thanks to the whole facilities team, the VP and Chief Facility Officer, Pete Sala, Joe Alfieri, Doug Tankersley, Mark Hintz, Brenda Law, and Tracy Crook. And also want to thank, the builder, La Chase, for bringing it all together at the end. Thank you.
We also want to thank all of the incredible consultants we got to work with on this project, and of course our shop team, without which this wouldn't be possible, including Corey Sharpless, Bill Sharpless, John Barrett, the project manager, Dana Wu, Andrew Brodel, Gawan Chin, Adamo Garitano, Scott Overall, Shauna Drew, Joe Hand, Samir Kumar, amongst many others who have helped with this project. Thank you, thank everyone, and thank you AIA for this award.
New Construction, Award of Merit. Eugene Haas Center for Advanced Manufacturing Skills at Hudson Valley Community College, Troy, New York. Submitting firm, Mosaic Associates Architects. MEP, Structural, Site and Civil Engineering, CHA Companies. Technology System Design, Engineered Solutions, Specialty Structural Engineering, Springline Design. General Contractors, Betty Ann Kring. Public funds accounted for 30% and New York State public funding accounted for 20% of the $14.5 million construction cost for the Eugene Haas Center for Advanced Manufacturing Skills. Hudson Valley Community College set out to build a new training facility that supports greater enrollment in their Advanced Manufacturing Technology program, increases corporate engagement, and elevates the image of careers in manufacturing. CAMS is the only community college training program of its kind within 125 miles and has a 100% job placement rate. CAMS is a two-story, 37,000 square foot structure that defines the southern edge of the campus. The exterior treatment marries the campus material palette with an industrial aesthetic. A glazed center atrium provides transparency, connecting the public entrance to the campus entrance. Unique glazing strategies lower energy use, maximize views, enhance safety, and reduces glare. Curtain wall glazing at the faculty offices captures northern light and presents a sense of accessibility. The clear story maximizes daylight and safety and minimizes glare. The manufacturing labs have open floor plans with large doors to allow equipment to be moved. Interior lab walls are armored with perforated steel to protect against damage. To create an efficient, comfortable, and safe equipment layout, the design team researched the function of each machine and tool, including how people moved around them, feed materials into them, and service them. In classrooms, demountable partitions open the space up for large events. Flexible office space allows manufacturers to work at the facility and recruit candidates. Highlighted within the building's central core are student capstone projects and donor displays, including a Formula One race car that reinforces the positive career message. As Vice President of Allendale Machinery Systems, Marty McGill said, "The center represents the new image of what manufacturing is today, not just a job, but a well-respected and rewarding career."
Hi, I'm John Onderdon, Principal with Mosaic Associates Architects. On behalf of Mosaic, our design team, and Hudson Valley Community College, I'd like to thank AIA New York State for recognizing the value of the Eugene Haas Center for Advanced Manufacturing Skills. Hudson Valley saw the need in our region for greater investment in workforce development. Eugene Haas and the Eugene Haas Foundation saw the value of the project and led the way in supporting it. Many organizations from both the private and public sectors joined in with amazing support. We are grateful to all of them for their vision and for the opportunity to be a part of this important project. Finally, we are indebted to our amazing staff and consultant team who work tirelessly to create an innovative, cost-effective design. Thank you.
New Construction, Award of Merit. Riverside School for Makers and Artists, PS 191, New York, New York. Submitting firm, Datner Architects. Mechanical and Electrical Engineering, DVL Engineers. Structural Engineering, Israel A. Seinook. Site Engineering, Philip Habib Associates. Landscape Architecture, Star White House Landscape Architects. Riverside School for Makers and Artists, PS 191, is part of the Riverside Center development. The multi-phase developer-led project included 5 buildings and adds over 2 million square feet of new housing, both affordable and market rate, to Manhattan's Upper West Side. The community engagement allowed the local community board to include a school and publicly accessible open space within this context of a public-private partnership. The Riverside School for Makers and Artists PS 191 is the first new public school in the Upper West Side in decades. The pre-K through 8th grade facility serves 700 students and supports a STEAM educational program. The space is organized around a multi-story atrium capped with a large skylight, and the fully accessible school provides vertical transportation to all spaces. More than 20 classrooms suit individual grade levels and promote team teaching and group learning. The art and music rooms, the science suite, library, gymnasium auditorium, and cafeteria are shared by all students and integrate different program components to complement the age range. 2 outdoor roof recreation spaces serve different age groups. The pre-K kindergarten play roof is accessed directly off its complementary classrooms. With outdoor play roofs and a flexible indoor gymnasium space, recreation activities are easily incorporated into the daily schedule. Student circulation is internal, and outdoor spaces are accessed through the school's common areas. The Riverside School for Makers and Artists PS 191 alleviates overcrowding issues, providing a robust and quality education for students. The school has engaged in partnering programs with organizations such as Reaching for the Arts, College Access for All, A Fair Shake for Youth, Counseling in School, and the Fordham University STEM program. The school's central atrium and large, open, flexible spaces serve the school community and beyond.
My name is Daniel Huberger. I'm a principal at Datner Architects in New York City, and I'd like to thank the New York State AIA Committee for this 2021 Excelsior Award for our project, the Riverside School for Makers and Artists, also known as PS 191, located on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. We're very proud of this project. New York City has one of the largest public school systems in the nation with over 1.1 million pupils. It is also a very crowded place, which makes finding sites for new schools difficult. This project inserts a 750 student school into the base of a new residential tower. It is a public-private partnership between our client, the New York City School Construction Authority, and a residential developer. The school is both a response to the issues of density, but also the exploration of what a new school typology for the 21st century may mean. We're very proud of the project. It's been open a couple of years, and from all reports, it's been a great success with the community. So thank you once again for this award, and I congratulate our fellow nominees tonight as well. Thank you very much.
New Construction, Award of Merit. Rochester Institute of Technology Global Cybersecurity Institute. Rochester, New York. Submitting firm, Labella Associates. Engineering, Labella Associates. Civil engineering and landscape architecture. Environmental design and research companies. Contractor, LaChase Construction. Rochester Institute of Technology was awarded $5 million through the New York State Higher Education Capital Matching Grant Program. Matching funds were raised through private philanthropy and through a generous donation made by 2009 RIT alumnus Austin McCord, who created a patented data recovery and backup device and later sold his company for $1.5 billion. The total project cost was just over $21 million. Delivered using a design-build contract, the project was completed on schedule despite pandemic delays. At 3 stories and over 50,000 square feet, the Global Cybersecurity Institute includes classrooms, instructional and research labs, simulation and training rooms, student collaboration, community spaces, and offices. A wall of fame highlights critical thinkers and influential persons that shaped the industry. The Experience Center provides a black box environment for students to display their work alongside famous encryption tools, like the World War II German Enigma machine. Akin to a NASA command center or situation room, the cybersecurity range teaches students how to combat cyber criminals and uphold national security during a cyber attack. The CSR provides a realistic stage for problem solving in a high-pressure environment. Featuring a 40-foot digital display and connectivity to more than 15,000 virtual machines, this learning environment creates a dynamic atmosphere which can be altered to intensify a scripted exercise and reward a successful trial. These environments provide contextualized learning and research opportunities focused on improving security for critical industries. Rochester Institute of Technology is a leader in cybersecurity education and research and is positioned to tackle the cybersecurity challenges facing our society. Analysts expect that by 2022, the global shortage of qualified cybersecurity employees will reach 1.8 million. In the next year, data breaches will cost the global economy as much as $2.1 trillion.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jerry DiRomanis, Architect and Higher Education Studio Manager at Labella Associates in Rochester, New York. I am honored to accept this award on behalf of our client, design team, and industry partners who made this project a reality. I'd like to thank RIT for the opportunity on this exciting and challenging project, starting with the Senior Administration, President Dr. David Munson, Senior Vice President Dr. Jim Waters, and Ann Haig, Dean of the Golisano College of Computing and Information Science. I'd also especially like to recognize Jim Yarrington, RIT Campus Architect and Director of Planning and Design, as well as Mark Williams, RIT Senior Project Manager, for their guidance on this project. Our industry partners also included LaChase Construction, as well as EDR Civil and Landscape Design. Labella Associates provided full-service architectural and engineering services, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize the design team. Mike Place, Megan Thomas, Danielle Lewis, Monica Simmons, Josh Lawrence, Jeff Davis, Rob Zirkus, Melissa Gross, Chuck Lind, Keenan Paznitzky, Nate Fox, and Kevin Bodmeister. Thank you all for your hard work and dedication on this project. And again, thank you AIA New York State for this recognition.
New Construction Award of Merit. 2nd Avenue Subway, New York, New York. Submitting firm, AECom, Mechanical, Electrical, Plumbing, Structural and Communications Engineering, ARUP and AECom. Tunneling, ARUP, AECom. Construction Manager, WSP. With public funding provided through the MTA, state funds and federal sources, the new subway line that runs the length of Manhattan from Hanover Square to 125th Street along 2nd Avenue provides subway access to the east side of Manhattan. Underserved by public transit for decades, it relieves congestion on the streets and on the severely overcrowded Lexington Avenue subway line. Phase 1 includes a new entrance at the 63rd Street and Lexington Ave station, and 3 new stations at 72nd, 86th, and 96th Streets on 2nd Avenue. The stations are column-free and configured to facilitate passengers' orientation and navigation. Interior spaces emphasized a vertical transparency between multiple levels to encourage appreciation of the structure and reinforce a sense of safety and security. Ancillary buildings have been designed as primary points for supply and exhaust air to serve the station's ventilation and smoke exhaust needs. As an integrated architectural geotechnical solution to establishing building location, an end-of-block property was selected. The new subway line provides the most efficient access to the rest of New York's public transportation infrastructure system and the city. The new line creates new hubs of commercial activity around the station's entrances and supports dynamic street activity. Easier access to the rest of the city makes the areas around the new stations more desirable for residential and commercial development. The architectural expression of the stations provide easily recognizable entrances and public squares. The ancillary building's overall massing was designed to fit within the local architectural context. The use of high-quality finishes on all buildings brings value to the surrounding neighborhoods. Station identity is further established through one-of-a-kind art installations anchoring each station. Monumental works of art commissioned specifically for this project collectively make 2nd Avenue Subway the largest permanent public art display in the state.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Cohn, and I lead the Transportation Architecture Group at AECOM in New York. We are so honored to speak for this transformative project, designed and constructed by so many New Yorkers, for the people of New York. The Second Avenue subway is a great example of how the public's investment in infrastructure, especially public transportation, can be leveraged for greater social value. First, it improves the quality of life for all New Yorkers. Less crowded, more pedestrian-oriented streets, a better public realm, and this project aspires for a much improved passenger experience with fully integrated elevators, modern, easy-to-maintain materials, and truly world-class artwork. Second, public transit is inherently more energy efficient and allows for more dense patterns of settlement, a much more sustainable strategy for growth. And third, these new stations advance the goals of a really more equitable city by providing equal access to all the resources of the city, the places to work, the places to live, healthcare, education, culture, food, and entertainment. So thank you again for this award. Credit is due to all the New Yorkers who supported and worked on this project.
New Construction Honor Award. The Jones Beach Energy and Nature Center. Wantagh, New York. Submitting firm. N Architects. Landscape Architecture. Star White House. MEP and Civil Engineering. FPM Group. Structural Engineering. Silman. Lighting Design. Lumen Architecture. Sustainability Consultant. Terrapin Bright Green. Graphic Design. Tactile. Exhibition Design. Tactile. AJA Architects. Cost Estimating. Alana. Construction Manager. Elite Construction Company of New York. General Contractor. Scalamandre. At 330 feet in length, the linear one-story building provides stunning views of the dunes and Atlantic Ocean. An integration between architecture, landscape, ecology, engineering, and exhibition. The Jones Beach Energy and Nature Center provides a laboratory for learning about how human engineering and nature intertwine. The building's wave-like profile conveys waves in both energy and nature. The luminous interior is visually connected to its natural site, housing offices, support spaces, classrooms, and an exhibition space that spills out onto a perimeter-shaded canopy and amphitheater. The center provides an immersive educational experience with inclusivity as a core objective. The building reuses a demolished 1960s bathhouse pile foundation. Beachscape is reclaimed from 12 acres of demolished concrete parking and is recycled and used for pavements, walkways, and sculpted dunes that help secure the site against erosion. Native and maritime plantings eliminate the need for irrigation, and a portion of the plantings form a pollinator garden. The building glazing includes low-E coating and a UV interlayer to help prevent bird strikes. The building achieves net zero through measures designed to generate and conserve energy. 260 rooftop solar photovoltaic panels generate renewable on-site carbon-free electricity. Geothermal heating and cooling systems eliminate reliance on carbon-based fuel. A building management system controls and monitors the building's heating, cooling, lighting, and exhibit systems, prominently displaying the building's real-time performance as part of the exhibition. This pioneering building, landscape, and exhibition will educate visitors about how energy use and nature shape each other, pointing towards a carbon-neutral future for New York State. A gateway to Jones Beach, the facility educates visitors on how they can become stewards of the environment. In meeting New York State's recently signed Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act's net zero objectives almost 30 years before its targets, the building serves as a model for sustainable architecture.
Thank you so much for this incredible award for the Jones Beach Energy Nature Center. My name is Eric Bungay. I'm one of two co-founding partners of N Architects, a firm that I co-founded with Mimi Huang in 1999. I think we would all agree in the office that the Jones Beach Energy Nature Center is one of those projects that has given us quite a lot of joy and fulfillment, both as architects and as citizens of this very challenging world that we live in right now. What's incredible to us, though, is that the building really had some very humble beginnings as a project. There was no real plan to make it the wonderful institution that it's become today, nor that it would be a net zero building. All of this emerged sort of in partnership and in conversation between designers and the wonderful client that we have in New York State Parks, as well as the Long Island Power Authority and several other agencies and contributors. So it's a testament to the real power of conversation, intelligent dialogue, and vision that can come together so quickly to create something new. So I suppose just thinking about this humble one-story building out on a beach, receiving this wonderful honor is very exciting for us. Of course, it also shows us that there's a great belief not only in architecture but in thinking about how we can design for a resilient future. So I hope you go visit. It's open 7 days a week. Check the website, and please go enjoy the wonderful exhibits and the beautiful ecology of the Long Island Sound. Thank you so much again.
Public Art. Citation. El Barrio Bait Station, New York, New York. Submitting firm. Jacobs Chang Architecture. Structural Engineering. Silman. Contractor. SMI Construction Management. Fabricator. Maspeth Welding. Illustrator. Clarissa Diaz at Gothamist. Public funding came from Sea Grant, New York, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and the Maritime Coastal District of New York Conservation, Education, and Research Grant Program. Accounting for less than half the cost, the shortfall was made up by team members donating their services. Located along the East River Esplanade at 100th Street in Upper Manhattan, this pilot project was initiated to assist an enthusiastic community of anglers that utilize this popular stretch of New York's East River. The installation melds art, function, and community by providing a useful working bait station and by bringing innovative design to a waterfront in need of investment and reinvention. El Barrio's bait station was designed to slip seamlessly through the vertical rails with only 1/4 tolerance on each side. Constructed of Corten steel to resist vandalism, it provides an ADA-compliant surface for prepping bait, gutting, and cleaning fish. Elements include solar panels for lighting, a non-potable water pump for cleaning surfaces, a measuring device for meeting the minimum 28-inch sea bass catch, knife slots, East River fish illustrations, and orientation signage. Since ease of installation was a factor, the bait station was built off-site. A local advocacy group asked for a bait station that will surprise and delight all passers-by. This small amenity fulfills a need and calls attention to the lack of equity and environmental justice that has left the northern part of the East River Esplanade along the Harlem waterfront unsafe and undeveloped. El Barrio Bait Station stands as a symbol of vested interest in an underserved neighborhood and a reflection of a successful public-private collaboration. The hope after this beta phase is to have many of these stations permanently lining the edges of the waterfront.
Hi, I'm Sari Chang, a principal at Jacobs Chang Architecture. Thank you, members of the AIA New York State Excelsior Awards jury, for recognizing El Barrio Bait Station and bringing attention not only to its role as public art, but to the vicinity along the East Harlem waterfront where it stands. The bait station is the material expression of a dialogue between local community groups and skilled builders to make a delightful yet useful amenity for fishermen and those who walk by. Thank you, Sea Grant, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the Marine and Coastal District of New York Conservation, Education, and Research Grant Program. Kudos to Friends of the East River Esplanade for commissioning the work, to Silman Engineering, SMI Construction, Maspeth Welding, and Clarissa Diaz for her illustrations. Despite its small footprint, El Barrio Bait Station has a purpose beyond its utility. Public art can bring attention to important issues that haven't been noticed or need to change. In this case, the bait station symbolizes hope for future revitalization of the East River waterfront.
Congratulations once again to all our Excelsior Award and Jeffrey J. Zogg Build New York Award recipients. At this time, we would like to acknowledge and congratulate the Associated General Contractors of New York State Distinguished Service Award recipient, the AIA New York State Professional Award recipients, and announce a special Presidential Citation Award recipient. Distinguished Service Award. The Associated General Contractors of New York State Distinguished Service Award recognizes individuals who have provided extraordinary service, commitment, and integrity to the construction industry. This year's award recipient is Ralph W. Johnson, retired Senior Vice President, Turner Construction Company.
It is a real honor for me to present this year's Distinguished Service Award to a real leader in the construction industry. He's been a leader for a long, long time, Ralph Johnson, who is someone who rose through the ranks of Turner Construction to Senior VP, became president of the General Building Contractors of New York State, the AGC building chapter in New York State at that time, then became the chairman of the AGC of America Building Division and eventually president of AGC of America. Ralph has been a leader and a supporter of our organization for a long time. He has done training for our Future Construction Leaders program, and I can think of no one better, given his longstanding leadership, his knowledge of the industry, and his mentorship to our organization, to the industry, and personally to me, to present this year's award. Again, a real leader, a mentor, and a friend. Ralph Johnson, congratulations.
Thank you, AGC of New York State, for this Distinguished Service Award. This is really a great tribute to Jeff Zogg as well, and I appreciate you folding this into the Build New York program. He was a great guy. Thank you to the staff, membership, and officers for the support and fellowship over the years. We did some great things together. Thank you again.
Henry Hobson Richardson Award. The Henry Hobson Richardson Award recognizes AIA members licensed in New York State and practicing in the private sector who have made a significant contribution to the quality of New York State public architecture and who have established a portfolio of accomplishments to that end. One of the founding fathers of American architecture, Henry Hobson Richardson, designed many significant public buildings in New York State and the United States. The first recipient of this year's H.H. Richardson Award is Frank V. Sika, AIA. Frank is an incredibly gifted technical architect and team leader who has practiced in the profession for over 42 years. While he spent the early days of his career in Baltimore, he's devoted most of his career and adult life to Buffalo, New York. Frank has completed dozens of successful projects in New York State, as well as across the globe, and excels at many aspects of design with a special focus on public buildings in the higher education market. Frank has exhibited outstanding leadership and communication skills throughout his career. His broad base of expertise makes him an exemplary project manager and mentor. He is an incredible problem solver, always finding win-win solutions that keep projects moving forward and committed to their original goals. Frank is a graduate of the University of Virginia's School of Architecture and has a Bachelor of Science in Architecture degree. He is currently a Senior Vice President and Senior Project Manager at Canon Design and has been with the firm since 1996. Frank's commitment to the AIA is nothing short of extraordinary. Since 2000, he has served on the Executive Committee for a total of 9 years, Treasurer from 2000 to 2001, President-elect from 2002 to 2003, and President in 2004. In 2006, when the chapter was without a treasurer, he returned to the board and served in that role until 2008. Through his tenure on the Executive Committee, he ensured that the chapter's resources grew to the point where it is today. A chapter that has distinguished itself with the signature programs that address the needs of its diverse membership. Frank is a multi-dimensional architect, capable of driving value in many ways at different times. He loves completing big projects as much as he does small moments of counsel with young architects. His contributions to New York State's built environment take numerous shapes and will echo for generations.
Hi, I'm Frank Sika, and I'm thrilled and honored to receive the Henry Hobson Richardson Award from the New York chapter of the AIA. And I'm particularly honored to be sharing this award with Bill Stein, an architect with an amazing career of service to the community and to the profession. I know we both recognize that it takes a complete team of professionals to achieve the successes that we've had. And I've had the privilege of working with some of the finest architects, engineers, consultants, and specialists to bring reality to our clients' visions. And those clients are our most important partners who give us the opportunity to create solutions, enduring solutions that solve some of the greatest challenges. I want to thank all of them, and they all share in this award. I also want to thank my wife and my family for their patience and their support, their strength, and their understanding as I've pursued this passion of architecture for the last 40 years. They understand the joy that comes from creating environments and building buildings that allow people to flourish, to grow, to thrive, and to prosper. It's a joy that I've had the pleasure to experience, and it's a joy that I hope you do not miss. So congratulations, Bill, and thank you all very much.
The second recipient of this year's H.H. Richardson Award is William Stein, FAIA. Bill has a distinguished record of public projects and professional leadership that affirms his commitment to design excellence and civic engagement. He is a leader in advocating for sustainable design and is skilled at building consensus to realize complex urban projects. In over 40 years at Datner Architects, as a principal and now a senior consulting principal, Bill has led a wide range of notable affordable housing, education, recreation, and transportation projects that have had a transformative impact on New York's communities, setting a standard of excellence in public architecture. Some examples include Public School 234, the first new school in Lower Manhattan in decades that became a sought-after school and architectural focus of the Tribeca neighborhood. Via Verde, a groundbreaking LEED Gold housing project in the South Bronx, sets a model for innovative, sustainable, and affordable housing. Steiner Studios, the largest TV film production lot outside Hollywood, revitalizing the Brooklyn Navy Yard and employs thousands. Throughout his career, Bill has participated in the AIA and civic organizations. At the AIA New York chapter, he served as vice president of the chapter and as president of the Center for Architecture Foundation. He is a fellow of the AIA and served on the chapter's Fellows Committee. He is a board member of the Citizens Housing and Planning Council. At CHPC, he is a member of the Executive Committee, serves on the Zoning Committee, and chaired the Green Buildings Committee. He served as an advisory board member of the New York Housing Conference and taught at Pratt Institute. Bill's career exemplifies architecture in the service of society. A distinguished record of public projects and professional leadership affirms his commitment to the design excellence and civic engagement. He is a leader in advocating for sustainable design and is skilled at building consensus to realize complex urban projects. His career provides a model for inclusive, community-centered design.
Good afternoon. I am honored to receive the Henry Hobson Richardson Award. I'd like to congratulate my fellow Richardson Award recipient, Frank Sika, and to congratulate all of today's awards recipients. I'd also like to thank my partners and colleagues at Datner Architects and my colleagues throughout the profession who have supported my career and advocate for architecture in the public interest. Henry Hobson Richardson was a pioneering architect of the 19th century. He developed the Romanesque Revival style, established a uniquely American architecture, and designed outstanding, enduring buildings throughout New York State and elsewhere. His career is a model of civic engagement and public architecture. It is truly an honor to receive this award in his name. Thank you.
Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller Award. The Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller Award recognizes licensed architects employed in the public sector in New York State, whose work on projects within their jurisdiction has furthered the cause of design excellence in public architecture. Nelson Rockefeller devoted a significant portion of his life to public service, most notably serving as the 49th governor of the state of New York. This year's Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller Award recipient is Angeline Chandler, R.A. With over 18 years of experience in the public sector at the state and municipal levels, Angeline's work in architecture, urban design, and landscape architecture ranges from large-scale park development to community-focused planning, design, and preservation. Under her leadership, both New York City and state have greatly expanded their green space and undertaken significant projects to reconstruct compromised and underutilized sites and infrastructure as thriving public spaces. Angeline is currently a vice president at the New York Power Authority, where she leads New York State's $300 million Reimagine the Canals initiative. This program will adaptively reuse Erie Canal infrastructure to enhance economic development, recreation, and tourism in upstate New York. Reimagine will also explore ways to mitigate the impacts of flooding and ice jams, restore ecosystems, and prevent the spread of invasive species to improve the environmental resiliency of canal communities. Prior to NYPA, Angeline was a vice president in the Capital Division of the New York City Economic Development Corporation, where her work was focused on waterfront resilience. As Deputy Commissioner for Capital Programs at the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, Angeline led the design and construction of new park facilities across New York State. These projects included visitor centers, environmental education facilities, public restrooms, cabins, trails, and public art. Angeline spent 12 years at New York City Parks, where she was a capital program director, leading the Community Parks Initiative, the reconstruction of New York City's beaches following Superstorm Sandy, and the development of Fresh Kills Park. Angeline received her undergraduate degree in architecture from Washington University, earned her Master of Architecture from Princeton University, and is a Loeb Fellow at Harvard University's Graduate School of Design. She is a resident of New York City and Hudson, New York, where she is actively engaged with local government and Future Hudson, a citizen planning group.
Thank you so much for this honor. I've worked in the public sector for almost 20 years, roughly 2/3 of my career, and it has been an immensely challenging, in the very best way, and extremely rewarding experience. I've worked at several different agencies and authorities, and at every organization I encountered many others who were equally committed to improving the public realm. It is those colleagues that I would like to acknowledge today, for none of us can do it alone, nor would we want to. Thank you again for this honor. It means a great deal to me.
Presidential Citation. Presidential citations are a privilege of the AIA New York State President. Unlike awards and other AIA New York State recognitions that represent more formalized jury selection processes, presidential citations are expressions of the president's viewpoint. Ilya Azaroff, FAIA, the 2021 AIA New York State President, is honored to present Sandra L. Dagler, AIA Director of Upstate Planning, Design, and Quality Assurance for DASNY, with a presidential citation for her unwavering commitment and dedication to AIA New York State and the Excelsior Awards program. Sandra has served the public all her professional life. Prior to her position as director, Sandra held the positions of Associate Architect and Chief Architect at DASNY and has been with DASNY for over 20 years. Prior to joining DASNY, she was employed by the Design and Construction Group of the New York State Office of General Services as a Senior Architect for 16 years. And prior to that, she was an Assistant Architect for New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities. Sandra's commitment to her community and her profession are exemplified by her being DASNY's liaison to AIA New York State, where she chairs the quarterly joint AIA New York State DASNY meetings since 2015, but has been the liaison for almost 10 years. Sandra was the recipient of the AIA New York State Nelson Aldrich Rockefeller Award in 2019. She was also honored by the Professional Women in Construction's National Organization at their August 2008 meeting. In addition, Sandra has been a mentor for young architects at DASNY in their summer intern program. Congratulations, Sandra. AIA New York State thanks you for your many years of service, and we wish you the best as you move toward the next chapter life brings to you. Once again, everyone at AIA New York State and AGC New York State would like to extend our sincerest appreciation to our sponsors, without whom this event would not be possible. Zetlin and D. Chiara, E.W. Howell, Turner Construction, Patrick DeCerbo, Northwestern Mutual, Pasilico Civil, Couchwhite, LLC, Insurance Office of America, La Chase. We congratulate the individuals who are recognized for their contributions and the winning teams for submitting such impactful projects. It truly goes to show that collaboration between a strong design and construction team can produce beautiful work. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you all in person next year.